should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. Preferably in a residential area.
The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you. Voted as best local podcast in Tampa Bay by the Creative Loafing. You're listening to Hoppe Hour.
What up? What is happening? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. And this is one of the first guys that I got to network with when I'm here in Tampa Bay. Radio veteran and the host of the On the Beach podcast found on radioinfluence.com. Jeff Pantsridge, a.k.a. Pants, is live on the show. What's up, dude?
Yo, man. What's going on? What's up, dude? I gotta work on my hobby. What's up, dude?
You're getting better at it, man.
Yeah, it's good, man. What's up, pimp? What's up, dude?
Galvin does the best.
Yep.
Drew's is good. And then Johnny B's sounds like me for a little bit, and then it sounds like Billy Madison. Like doesn't hang on that long.
Nard. I love Johnny B. He's the man. Oh, yeah. No, he's great. No, man, dude, thank you very much for having me on, man. This is awesome. I've been
wanting to get you on because you were a bit turned up at the bar crawl in August, and I asked you, would you want to come on Hoppe Hour? And you're like, sure, I'll come on the show. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were serious or not. And then I got busy, and I'm like, I have to get Pants on the show.
Yeah, it was total drunk talk, but, then I felt guilty when you asked me again. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it. No, dude, I've been wanting to do this for a while, man. I'm looking forward to it.
So how has everything been, man? Because we all miss you.
It's been good, man. Things have been good. Like I've been, I'm doing a podcast now, on the beach.
Yeah.
Doing it with somebody here that works at Cox Radio, Monica, and Kathy Suswitz. We've been doing it for, I don't know, like 6 months or so, something like that. We got that going on. I'm just kind of living my life. I drive for a town car service now. I'm kind of out of radio. So it's been an interesting ride for sure. I've been out of radio for like 14 months. What's that?
Do you feel disgruntled?
No, not anymore. I did it first. If you don't know, like I used to work at a radio station here in the Tampa Bay area called 98.7 The Fan, and it went under about 14 months ago. They flipped it.
How heartbreaking was that?
Oh, dude, it sucked, man. I'd never been through it before. I worked in radio for 13 years, and I'd never been fired, and I'd definitely never been part of a format flip. And it was tough, man. It was definitely a tough day.
Did you see it coming, or was it a surprise?
No, I knew. I saw it coming. Yeah, I definitely saw it coming. You don't know it's going to come. You're thinking it's probably 50-50, but when you're on a radio station,
circulating and things like that.
Yeah, there's rumors circulating that was happening constantly. Like our company, there was rumors of our company being sold. Like, I worked for CBS, and there was rumors for months that, Cumulus was going to buy us and everything, so we had that hanging over our head. And then our company actually got traded. We didn't get sold, we got traded. I didn't even know you could get traded, but, our radio station got traded like a baseball player, to another company. And then the other company didn't want us. So they said, all right, screw you guys, you're going home.
What was the first thing that you thought when you got fired? Like, were you mad? Were you sad? Because when I got laid off, or I got let go from the show in Cleveland, I didn't leave the house for 2 days. I didn't cry. I didn't weep. I just basically chilled at the house and was just like, what do I do next? So, what was your thought?
My first thought was I got drunk. that was the first thing I did.
That's what I did too.
Yeah. And it was just kind of, it was weird, man. It was kind of it was almost like gratitude. I wasn't mad at the time. I was kind of numb. So I was kind of I was just, because there was so much support from all of our listeners, so much support from my family, my friends. It was crazy. It was like a whirlwind where I didn't even have time to deal with any self-pity or any of that. We just everybody was there for you. So it was cool, man. It was actually made, it was as weird as it sounds, our whole station got fired. I got fired. I'm out of a job at this point. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with my life. But I had never felt more confident because everyone's telling you how good you are. Everybody, all your friends, all your family, your listeners are all like, man, you guys are going to be back. You guys, we got your back all the way. We fully support you. You did such a good job. You're going to be fine. And it kind of reinforces your belief in yourself. And so it actually, as weird as it sounds, it gave me confidence.
Do you think you guys were underlooked in this market and maybe they didn't realize what they had until it was flipped?
No, I don't think so. It is what it is. We were as a station, we were on for about 2.5, 3 years. that should be enough time to make our mark. And basically, like we didn't make enough money. And I don't think we were underappreciated at all. Like people knew we were there. Like, like if you're a sports radio listener or a talk radio listener, you're going to find sports and talk radio wherever you are. So we didn't do a good enough job. So I don't think we're underappreciated at all, honestly.
What's your goal now? Do you want to get back in radio because you're making good money driving now for the town car service?
Yeah.
Do you want to get back?
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Man,
you've been in radio now for a little while. Like you get it. You understand what that radio bug is. And it's never going to leave. Like you either love it or you don't, because the money sucks, obviously, unless if you hit big time. But there's nothing more amazing than turning on this microphone and doing a radio show and just knowing that thousands of people are listening to you at the same time, and they're living and dying by what you're saying. They're laughing with you, and it's this rush you get. Like, no, I'll definitely get back into it. I look for radio jobs every day still.
Nothing is more important and nothing motivates me more than when somebody says, my show or The Bone makes their day. And I'm sure you hit that too.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, you just think we're just talking into a mic, but it's unreal to think that us talking into a mic makes someone's day at their job or their girlfriend annoys them. Like, it's unreal.
It's awesome. It's the best feeling in the world, man. Because like you said, like literally, you're doing a show and you got you might have 2 or 3 people on the show with you, and you're basically just talking to your friends. You only see one person. You see your producer or whatever, and to realize that you're impacting that many people. Because let's think about it, man. Like most people spend. A lot of people spend more time with, the radio show that they love than they do with their own family. A lot of people, driving to work, taking, an hour to get to work, an hour to get home. A lot of people are driving out there. Like me, I drive for a living now. So I listen to the radio, I probably listen to 6 hours of radio a day. So they become like, the jocks, the hosts, the producers, everybody involved. It's like they become your family. You get to be, get into their life every day. So I totally get that.
Do you ever hear any shows on the radio on any frequency and you get a bit disgruntled where you're like, I could do better than that?
Oh,
or
absolutely.
You want their shift?
Yeah. It sucks. I don't want to think that way, but I think we all do. I think
we all have egos.
We all have egos. Yes, absolutely. And we all want more. Like I don't care who you are in this business or any business, you always want to, reach the next level.
Unless you're like Howard, then you're fine.
Yeah, then you're good. He's the only guy. Everyone else wants to be Stern. That's what it is. So there are guys, they're like, Opie and Jim. I know you interviewed Jim Norton.
Yeah.
Like those guys are, those guys are huge, obviously, and they want to be Stern. Everybody wants to be Stern. So you want to get that next guy's spot. So like you can't let it's hard. Like you can't let jealousy creep in. But yeah, sometimes of course you hear other shows. I hear shows all the time. I'm like, how the hell? Because I'm looking for work, obviously. So I listen to radio all over the country. And I listen, and I'm like, man, really? These guys? Like, of course, I could do a much better job than these guys. But, you just keep pushing forward.
What annoys me is just these guys, and it's not in this market, but there's people that just make fun of other people for ratings. And then there's people that just keep on copying the same old Howard, having the outspoken guy in the room who's the smartest, having the little whack pack of people they make fun of, the newsreader that's a female. And you're just like, come on. Or the shows that do the fake prank calls, you're just like,
oh, that's
2016. Like, just
I don't do that.
Do something.
The prank call thing, that's not my thing. I'm not like, if you ever listen to any of my radio shows that I produce, any shows that I host, any shows that I'll produce or host in the future, I'm not like the prank call guy. I'm not the wacky zany morning big
Pants
guy.
party in the morning.
No, I friggin' hate those shows. It's just not my thing. I just like real, like reality. I just like conversational radio.
That's why I like The Bone. It's real.
Yeah, The Bone is great, man. The Bone is, like I've said this forever, The Bone is my favorite radio station in the country right now. I've said this for a long time.
It's one of the last few real talk radio places to hear it. You know what I mean?
It sucks. Like there's a market for talk radio out there, for like real good talk radio, and I'm not talking about like political talk. I'm talking, like hot talk radio, like 102.5 The Bone, that dealing with current events, but in like a in a real meat and potatoes sort of way, and not speaking over your head. Like, yeah, there's definitely a market for that. They have it nailed. I love The Bone.
I think it's sad because I think most people are afraid to try and take a chance when it comes to radio.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just want to do the same old cookie
Yep.
cutter. Here's what's going on with Kim Kardashian. Here's your prank call. Here's your sports update. Here's what's going on with Obama. But I really think that The Bone could work in every city if we weren't uptight about words in 2016.
No, I agree. I definitely agree with you there. Like, like people, well, managers, there's a reason that, managers are managers. Like they have to play it safe. And they managers, for the most part, they don't want to take chances because, like everyone else, they don't want to get fired.
Yeah.
So they play it safe. They sit there, program directors and consultants and everything. They look at numbers, and instead of going with their gut a lot of times, and that's unfortunate. But like radio it's not the same as it used to be. It used to be different. Radio used to take more chances, shows and stations did, and then Janet Jackson happened when the nipple in the Super Bowl ruined everything. And then it just like radio got stale, and now it's just like you said, it's cookie cutter. It's boring, and I don't see it going back the other way. I think it's unfortunately it's a business that I love, but I think it's only going to get worse.
What about podcasts? How big can that get?
It will become the next radio. It is going to be huge. It's really finally starting to catch on. Podcasts have been around for 10, 15 years, but now it's really starting to catch on because of the society we live in now. Like, how old are you, Hoppe? You're like 22. So like you've been listening to podcasts like since you can remember, probably.
Yeah.
But you grew up in this on-demand society where like you don't watch commercials on TV. You DVR everything.
I
use
was
Netflix.
the last age group to see it. Like, I remember things from the 90s. Like, I think 93 and 94 is the last possible year where you remember like VHSs.
Yeah.
Past that, then
Yep.
you're on demand, Blu-ray, everything. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. We don't have time. We don't have time to screw around. So like we don't have time to sit through commercials. We don't have time for any of that. So podcasts are the future because you get exactly what you want. If you're driving, if you have a 35-minute commute, an hour commute, most podcasts are 30 minutes to an hour. You can get it in and then get out, and it's streamlined. So the podcast will take off, just like nobody listens to entire CDs anymore. People don't even listen to CDs anymore.
Yeah.
They buy singles or whatever.
Unless you're Adele.
Yeah.
And you're smart about that.
Exactly. But people want it in small doses, and they want to get to the meat of exactly what they like. That's why I think podcasts will take off.
And what I like about podcasts too is a lot of times I'll be listening to The Bone and they're about to play a clip or it's getting intriguing. Then you're like, God damn it, I got to go to work, or God damn it, I got to bring these
I hate
things
that.
into the house. But when it comes to podcasts, you're like, I can just play this clip of Adam later. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the best parts about it, because I've had that feeling before where you're literally you're in the car and they're right in the middle of the meat of the show.
They're right about to do it. They're right about to do it, Jeff.
And you got to go. And you can't pause life. That's but you can pause a podcast and you can get back to it whenever, and it'll always be there, and you can listen to it at any time. And I love it. I absolutely love podcasts, and it's only going to get better and better.
Now, since we are talking about podcasts and they are growing by the minute, why should people check out your show On the Beach?
Oh, because it's because we're everybody. It's like the every person's podcast. Basically, our show On the Beach. It started as 3 radio people that were out of radio, and like On the Beach is a term. If you're looking for work in radio, you're on the beach, TV, whatever. So we said, why don't we just do a show about, 3 people that were in radio that kind of, that just, for whatever reason, they weren't in it anymore. And then like Monica got a job here at Cox Radio, and Kathy, my other co-host, she got a job over at iHeartRadio. So like they've been doing radio. So we figured, well, we might as well stick with the On the Beach name, but we kind of changed the format of the show. And now it's more of like a lifestyle show. Like we talk about dating, like what it's like to be, in your 30s and dating. and just like living your life in your 30s, dating, drinking, eating, just living in the Tampa Bay area, living on the beach, and living the lifestyle.
How great is Tampa Bay, man? I love it here, dude.
It's awesome. It's funny because I grew up here. I've lived here my entire life, and I kind of take it for granted somewhat, but then I see people like you moving from places like Cleveland, and like you.
Yay!
Exactly. And you move to Tampa and you see these beautiful beaches and these beautiful women and all this food and art and culture and everything that's going on here. And it's cool because Tampa Bay, this whole area right now, it's growing like crazy. And it's like, it's like what Austin was 10, 15 years ago, or Portland, where you got all these people are coming in and making it better, and it's just awesome to be part of such a growing city like St. Petersburg, Tampa.
How average was it before it became more transplant the last 20 years?
Oh, it sucked, man. It used to be called Heaven's Waiting Room. It was nothing but old people.
Yeah.
It was awful. I wanted to get the hell out of here. A lot of people did. And what happened was everybody would leave, in the area, all the best chefs and artists and musicians would all try to make it in New York or whatever. And now so many people are staying, and everybody wants to make, the Tampa Bay area the next great area. So it's just made it that much better.
That's what I want to do when it comes to radio. There's so much potential when it comes to how loyal they are when it comes to radio. I think out of all the markets in radio, and especially here in Florida, this is the most loyal and passionate radio fan base. They love their radio, dude.
They do. No, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, and Tampa Bay has a history of really good radio for years. The Q Morning Zoo back in the day, the Power Pig when that came out in 89, 90. The Mike Calta show, everything that's all this that's happened over these last 30 years. Mason Dixon, Jack Harris. I could go on for years about how many MJ, of course, MJ, absolutely. I've worked with MJ for 10 years. All these great shows that Tampa Bay, I'll put Tampa Bay radio against any radio in the country. And I've listened to a lot of radio around the country in bigger markets than Tampa.
And they're bland.
Yeah, exactly. No, there's I've listened to San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Boston, name it. And most of it is bland. I'll put Tampa Bay's radio against anyone in the country. It's some of the best.
Oh, man, dude. A lot of these major markets are just doing the cookie cutter.
Yep.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. And it's sickening because especially voice tracking is just ruining the business.
It sucks, man. It's sad. You're making me sad over here, Hoppy.
I know. We went from a sad topic to happy to sad. You never know what you're going to get on here.
I know. Radio's tough, man. It's just getting smaller and smaller. It's really sad because people still love it. That's the thing. You talk to you talk to people, people think radio is dying, but listeners love it. People still love radio. It's just the jobs are just getting, the jobs are dwindling and the shows are dwindling. And now, like you said, voice tracking, you have one jock that's really good, and so they just put them on in 20 different markets, and they have, the certain things that they read, and that's it.
It makes me sick, too, because then they're like, you're listening to this in Fargo, North Dakota, and they think they're there, and it's like Mario Lopez isn't there.
Yep, I know, and it's and plus, you want to feel like one of the things that's great about radio is it's supposed to be local. I don't want some guy voice tracking out of Chicago here. I want my jock or whoever I'm listening to, my talk show, to be right here in town talking about what affects me, what's right in front of my face.
I think if you're like Howard or you're Rush, those big names are okay to syndicate.
Yeah, of course.
But voice tracking is different because Howard brought on original content that changed the game.
Oh, yeah.
But when you have these wacky DJs in top markets just doing reads where they're like, you're listening to this in Tampa or you're listening to this in Dallas, and they're making the audience think that they're there, that's sickening. Because, dude, most people think that the shows are there in town.
Yeah.
That's what's annoying is radio is proud of the fact that they can be unoriginal and cheap to fool the audience.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes me sick is, they're cool with the fact that most people think that War of the Roses is real. They're like, it works, it brings in ratings, let's not change it. It drives me nuts, dude.
Are you saying Ryan Seacrest isn't here in town?
What?
I thought he was here because I always hear him say the name of the station.
I thought he flew to a different place every day.
Every day, yeah.
He was in Tampa, then Chicago. But anyway, where do you want to see yourself in 5 years? Are you going to keep on grinding?
Oh, hell yeah, always. In 5 years, I hope I'm hosting my own radio show in a mid-sized market, like somewhere like
mid-size is
Yep.
when you can be a big fish in a small pond, and that's legit.
Something like the size of Tampa. I want to work at. I'd love to be work in Denver, Portland, San Diego, something like that. I don't see myself in Tampa, to be honest.
Milwaukee would be good.
I'd take Milwaukee. In
St.
5
Louis.
years. Like it doesn't St. Louis anywhere. Like the thing is, and you get it because you love radio. If you love it, you'll work anywhere. You'll do anything. And like as long as I have a radio show in 5 years, dude, I'll be happy, man.
My thing is, I just want it to be my main job, which is a lot to say, but I'm just so focused on it. I think it's almost unhealthy how much I like the business, dude.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, it's a little much.
Odd.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I knew about the Bone in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Then I knew about the show that I worked on in Cleveland from Chicago.
I don't think I've ever met anyone that likes radio as like I maybe Jacob 2 times.
Yeah.
Like him and you, I think you two like radio more than anybody in the world.
I guess.
Yeah, Avo for sure. But like you listen to Jacob 2 times, he talks about, all these different shows from like the last 30 years that he's been listening to. And dude, it's cool though, man. It's awesome, man.
Jacob makes me feel like an amateur when it comes to what I know about radio.
Oh, yeah.
I'll listen to him. He could write a book on radio. Like that kid's legit, man.
He's awesome. I love Jacob 2 times. He's the man.
I got to meet him in the hall. Really,
That's
nice
really
kid.
cool, man. I wish I got a chance to meet him. No, he's awesome. I
love radio fans like that. It's just amazing to think that talking into the mic makes their day. Like, It's so special when you hear them on the air. You know what I mean?
No, it's awesome, bro. It's definitely awesome. I love it.
Where can people find your work online so that we can help get Jeff Pantsridge, a.k.a. Pants Party, a.k.a. Pants, back on the radio?
Okay. All right. Well, I have a SoundCloud page, soundcloud.com/pantspartyradio. I got a bunch of old clips on there. Of course, you can listen to the podcast. It's On the Beach. You can download it on iTunes, Stitcher. We're a part of the...
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Yep, absolutely. Part of the radioinfluence.com network. We do a show once a week. I guarantee you'll love it. Just give us one show. All you need is one, and you'll like it. Usually with shows, you're watching like Mad Men or whatever, Breaking Bad. You need like 5 shows to get into it. One On the Beach show, you'll be hooked. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher, like I said, On the Beach Show on Twitter, On the Beach, Facebook.com/On the Beach Show, and I'm at Pants Party Radio on Twitter.
That's what I like about your show is you don't need to know who Monica is and who everyone else is to listen. You just feel like you're a part of friends drinking at the bar on the beach. No pun intended.
Monica she's you, like she's me. Like we're just, regular people, trying to figure out this crazy messed up world.
Well, dude, keep up the good work. I'm pumped to have you on. I thought when I asked you in August and you're a little turned up, I'm like, Jeff's not going to come on.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that a legend like you would come on.
Certainly not a legend, but I do get turned up for sure.
This has been a lot of fun, dude, having you on Hoppe Hour.
Cool, man. Dude, it's been an honor, man. The show sounds great, man. I've been listening. I appreciate it. I heard Drew. I heard Seth. I heard Mike Kelta. I heard my boy Kirk McEwen on here. You're doing a good job, man. You're kicking ass, man. I love to see your passion, man. Keep it up.
And I'm not just saying this. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and most of them are crap, but I have On the Beach subscribed on my iTunes, on my iPhone, and I listen when I can.
Boom, man. Much appreciated.
It helps me at the gym when I'm trying to focus. That and like 5 other shows I'll check out when I'm trying to get my pump in.
Hey, I saw you. We go to the same gym.
That was weird.
I saw you at the gym.
That's what reminded me to get you on.
Yep. That's right. We go to the
so
same
weird.
gym. Dude,
I'm about to go into UFIT, and I see Jeff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's Jeff Pantsridge. We talked for like 5 minutes. It's awesome.
Yeah, man. We'll go crush some weights together, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. We'll be the guys that periscope our workouts.
Yes.
Pants and Hoppe.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
1, 2. Well, dude, keep up the good work, man.
All right, man. Be good.
All right, peace.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.